2.1 एक्सरसाइज में किसी का कुछ डाउट है तो पूछो। आदित्य सराफ, आर यू हियर? आदित्य सराफ।
सर क्वेश्चन 10 डाउट है।
क्वेश्चन 10।
So question number 6.
सिक्स तो मैंने बनाया था। कौन पूछ रहा है बेटा? सिक्स
Yes sir.
क्या है तुम्हारा नाम?
Sir Avinav.
रोल नंबर?
429 sir.
429। तो कल क्लास में था।
Yes sir.
मतलब तू कुछ नहीं पढ़ रहा है।
No sir, सर यहाँ सर ये नहीं समझा सर, यहाँ x और y सर दोनों है ना सर।
वो कैसे मैंने बनाया था? कॉपी में लिख के ले रहे हो?
Yes sir, yes.
देखो कॉपी में लिखा हुआ है या नहीं।
Yes sir, लिखा हुआ है सर।
तो फिर एक्स वाई क्या क्या पूछ रहे हो? वहां पर तो वो एक सोल्यूशन दिया गया है। जब एक सोल्यूशन दिया जाता है तब एक्स वाई के साथ क्या काम है? एक सोल्यूशन दिया गया है, दूसरा सोल्यूशन मुझे निकालना है।
Yes sir, समझ गए, got it sir, got it.
This is not in the form. This question is not in the linear form. फिर भी ट्राई करते हैं। y डैश इक्वल टू जेड, y डबल डैश जेड डी जेड बाई डी वाई। तो ये होता है जेड डी जेड बाई डी वाई। नमन जैन,
यस सर।
कहाँ था तू कल?
सर मेरा वैक्सीन लगा हुआ था सर परसों, तो सर मेरा तबीयत थोड़ा खराब था सर।
क्लास में जो पढ़ाया गया है लिख के लिए हो?
यस सर, अभी मैं लिख लिया है, अभी मैं थोड़ा समझ के एक्सरसाइज कर लूंगा सर।
डी जेड बाई डी वाई प्लस वन बाई वाई जेड इक्वल टू 0। डी जेड बाई डी वाई प्लस वन बाई वाई अब जेड इक्वल टू 0। डी जेड बाई डी वाई इक्वल टू माइनस ऑफ वन बाई वाई जेड। डी जेड बाई जेड इक्वल टू माइनस वन बाई वाई डी वाई। एल एन जेड इक्वल टू माइनस एल एन वाई प्लस सी। Z will be e to the power minus y minus ln y plus c. E to the power minus y, e to the power minus ln y, e to the power c. That is a e to the power minus y by y. dy by dx equal to a e to the power minus y by y. So y e to the power y dy equal to a dx. Integrating what it will be? y e to the power y minus e to the power y equal to ax plus b। लेकिन ये हमारा फॉर्म में नहीं है, दिस इज नॉट लिनियर, दिस इज नॉट लिनियर। व्हाई इट इज नॉट लिनियर? व्हाई इट इज नॉट लिनियर?
y डैश का स्क्वायर है।
y डैश का डिग्री 2 है सर।
डेरिवेटिव का डिग्री 1 होना चाहिए, यहाँ पर डेरिवेटिव का
Yes.
डिग्री 2 है, तो इसलिए
Yes,
ये
sir.
लिख लो।
So next page.
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन
11th question, sir.
11th में कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन 15 to 19।
चलो सर थोड़ा प्रीवियस पेज दिखाइए एक बार। फिर हो गया।
एनी मोर?
No, sir.
तो लिनियर होमोजेनियस कांस्टेंट कोएफिशिएंट क्या बताया था? y डबल डैश प्लस ए वाई डैश प्लस बी वाई इक्वल टू 0 होने से कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन क्या हुआ था? m स्क्वायर प्लस ए एम
प्लस एक्स प्लस बी
is equals to
ए
0.
प्लस बी प्लस इक्वल टू 0।
दैट मीन्स y डबल डैश रिप्लेस होता है m स्क्वायर में, y डैश रिप्लेस होता है m में, y रिप्लेस होता है 1 में। तो y डबल डैश प्लस 5y डैश plus 6y equal to 0. What will be the characteristic equation? Who can say?
M square plus 5M plus
Sir, m
6.
square plus
plus 5m
Plus
5m
5m plus
5m
6 equal to 0.
6 equal to 0.
फैक्टराइज करने से क्या होगा और सॉल्व करने से -3 -2.
-2.
minus 3 minus 2.
रियल एंड डिस्टिंक्ट. रिक्वायर्ड सोल्यूशन क्या होगा? Required solution will be C1 e to the power -3x plus C2 e to the power -2x. Y double dash minus 4y dash plus 4y equal to 0. What will be the characteristic equation?
M square minus
square
4m
minus
plus 4m plus 4 is equal to 0.
Square minus 4m plus 4 equal to 0. That is m minus 2 whole square equal to 0. तो m का repeated रूप. m का repeated रूप. Required solution क्या होगा?
C1 plus C2 into x whole bracket e to the power
Y equal to
2x.
C1 plus C2x whole into e to the power 2x. Y double dash plus y dash plus y equal to 0. What will be characteristic equation?
M square plus
M
m square plus
x
m
plus
plus
1 equal to
m
0.
plus 1
m square plus m plus 1 equals to 0.
ये फैक्टराइज नहीं हो पाएगा तो क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन सॉल्व करते हैं -b प्लस माइनस b स्क्वायर माइनस 4ac by 2a. That is -1 plus minus √3i by 2. That is one is -1 plus √3i by 2. Other one is -1 minus √3i by 2. So that is -1 by 2 plus √3 by 2i. Other one is -1 by 2 minus √3 by 2i. So what is the value of alpha beta? Alpha is -half, beta is √3 by 2. The required solution will be
e to the power minus half x C1 cos √3 by
y
2x
equal to e to the power -half x whole into C1 cos √3 by 2x plus C2 sin √3 by 2x. Y double dash plus 9y equal to 0. What will be characteristic equation?
M
M
square
square
plus 9.
plus 9m equal to 0.
9m कहाँ से आया?
9 होगा सर.
m square equal to -9. -9 मतलब 9i square. तो m का वैल्यू है ±3i. That means 0 plus 3i, 0 minus 3i. अल्फा का वैल्यू 0, बीटा का वैल्यू 3. तो y क्या होगा? e to the power 0x into c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x. That is c1 cos 3x plus c2 sin 3x. Next है y double dash plus 4y dash equal to 0. What will be characteristic equation?
m square plus 4
Square plus 4m.
is 0.
M square plus
m
4m
square
to
plus
0.
4m equal to 0. M taking common, m plus 4 equal to 0. That means m का वैल्यू 0 है और दूसरा -4 है. सोल्यूशन क्या होगा? c1 e to the power 0x plus c2 e to the power -4x. That means C1 plus C2 e to the power minus 4x. Y double dash minus 5y dash plus 6y equal to 0 with initial condition y0 equal to 1, y dash 0 equal to 2. तो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन क्या है इधर?
M square minus 5m
minus 5m
is equals to 0.
plus 6 equal to 0. तो m का वैल्यू है 2 और 3. 2 और 3 है तो y क्या होगा? C1 e to the power 2x plus C2 e to the power 3x. That is the general solution. जब ये मिलता है y0 equal to 1 तो क्या मिलेगा इक्वेशन? C1 plus C2 equal to 1. Am I right? E to the power 0 1 है.
Yes, sir.
Second condition y dash 0 equal to 2. So what will be y dash here?
2c1
2c1 e to the power 2x
e power 3x
plus 3c2 e to the power 3x. तो y dash 0 equal to 2 है तो क्या मिलेगा? 2c1 plus
2c1
3c.
plus 3c2 is equals to 2.
Solving those two equation, what I will get? 2c1 plus 3c2 equal to 2. यहाँ 2 मल्टीप्लाई कर दो. 2c2 equal to 2. c2 हो जाएगा 0. c2 0 है तो c1 is 1. रिक्वायर्ड सोल्यूशन क्या होगा? e to the power 2x only. e to the power 2x only. Those are the different variety of problem of this method. लिख लो.
सर एक डाउट था सर अल्फा बीटा वाले में. सर आपने लिखा है सर 0 प्लस 3i समथिंग लिखा था आपने इसमें. हाँ सर इसमें. सर इसमें आपने अल्फा को 0 क्यों मान लिया?
और क्या है अल्फा का वैल्यू? अल्फा प्लस आई बीटा में अल्फा क्या है? कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर में यहाँ पर रियल पार्ट क्या है? 3i
सर,
का.
अच्छा आप i को मानते हैं मतलब y का कोफिशिएंट.
x प्लस आई वाई कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर होता है. x प्लस आई वाई के x का वैल्यू 0 है, y का वैल्यू 3 है.
ओके सर. सर इसमें हमेशा पॉजिटिव वाले ही लेते हैं क्या? कॉन्जुगेट ही लेना उसका?
हमेशा क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन का रूट्स क्या क्या होता है मालूम है तुझे? कोई
सर
क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन का रूट का नेचर क्या होता है मालूम है?
सर रियल और पॉजिटिव.
रियल, डिस्टिंक्ट, रियल, इक्वल, नहीं तो कॉम्प्लेक्स कंजुगेट.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर. सर ये वाला जो क्वेश्चन आपने किया y डैश माइनस 4y प्लस 4y इक्वल्स टू 0, इस पे सोल्यूशन पे तो c1 प्लस c2 इंटू e टू द पावर 2x होना चाहिए ना सर? वहां पर x आपने लिखा है.
तुम नहीं पढ़ रहे हो इसीलिए मुझे गुस्सा आता है.
सर थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो गया था सर.
कॉन्फ्यूज क्या है? वो तो केस कहा गया था m1 इक्वल टू m2 जब होता है. m1 इक्वल टू m2 जब होता है y का सोल्यूशन होता है c1 प्लस c2x e टू दी पावर m1x.
ओके सर, गॉट इट.
कंफ्यूजन क्या है? पढ़ नहीं रहे हो इसीलिए कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है. तीनों केस कहा गया है वर्किंग रूल में, वो तीनों केस से कौन सा केस यहाँ पर आता है? विच केस कम्स हियर? ये दोनों जो रूट मिला है, दोनों रूट रियल है, इक्वल है। रियल इक्वल के लिए जो होता है वही लिखते हैं। जल्दी करो।
डन सर।
डन सर।
सर 1 मिनट पीछे कीजिए।
डन।
डन सर।
सर 1 मिनट।
डन।
डन सर।
नेक्स्ट एक ऑपरेटर है डी ऑपरेटर। डी ऑपरेटर मीन्स d by dx. D square means what? D square by dx square. dq means dq by dx cube. ऐसे है। So d of y means dy by dx. d square y means d square y by dx square. dqy means dqy by dx cube. ऐसे चलता रहता है। Suppose question is find d square plus 2d of sin hyperbolic 2x। तो क्या होगा ये ना d square sin hyperbolic 2x plus 2d sin hyperbolic 2x। d मतलब डिफरेंशिएट करना है, ये 2 बार डिफरेंशिएट करना है इसमें sin hyperbolic 2x plus 2d sin hyperbolic 2x। That is the d sin hyperbolic 2x का क्या होगा 2 cos hyperbolic 2x 2 cos hyperbolic 2x यहाँ पर होगा 2 into 2 cos hyperbolic 2x। तो that is cos hyperbolic का फिर 2 आएगा तब 4 sin hyperbolic 2x plus 4 cos hyperbolic 2x। This is one way. Other way is what? Other way is what? D square plus 2d of sin hyperbolic 2x means that is d square by dx square of sin hyperbolic 2x plus 2d by dx of sin hyperbolic 2x. That is 4 cos hyperbolic 2x, a 4 sin hyperbolic 2x. It is 4 cos hyperbolic 2x. तो जो डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन हम बनाते हैं डी स्क्वायर प्लस ए डी प्लस बी ऑफ वाई इक्वल टू 0 सपोज डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन बी ऑफ आई लिखा जाता है। तो उसका मतलब है ये है वाई डबल डैश प्लस ए वाई डैश प्लस बी वाई इक्वल टू 0। सपोज कोई एक क्वेश्चन है डी स्क्वायर प्लस 3i ऑफ y इक्वल टू 0। तो ये क्या होगा? हु कैन से?
सर
Now
y
y
डबल
double
डैश
सर y
plus
डबल
3y
डैश
equal to
प्लस
3y
3y इक्वल टू
to 0.
कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन क्या होगा?
m स्क्वायर प्लस
3
3
इक्वल टू 0।
to 0.
m का वैल्यू है 0 प्लस रूट 3i, 0 माइनस रूट 3i। तो सोल्यूशन हो जाएगा y इक्वल टू e टू द पावर 0x c1 cos रूट 3x प्लस c2 sin रूट 3x। समझ रहे हो? और एनी डाउट? इसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले जाओ, लिख नहीं पाओगी, टाइम कम है, स्क्रीनशॉट ले जाओ।
नेक्स्ट पेज सर।
नेक्स्ट इक्वेशन इज ऑयलर-कश इक्वेशन। और उसका दूसरा नाम क्या बताया था? लिनियर होमोजेनियस ओडी with variable coefficient. The equation is of the form who can say?
x square y double dash plus ax y
Square
dash
y
plus
double
y
dash
equal to 0
plus ax y dash plus
plus
by equal to
by.
0.
Equal
Yes, sir.
to 0.
Let the trial solution is, ट्रायल सॉल्यूशन वहां पर था y इक्वल टू e टू द पावर mx, यहाँ पर है y इक्वल टू x टू द पावर m. So y dash will be what? m x to the power m minus 1. Y double dash will be m into m minus 1 x to the power m minus 2. Putting in the given equation, putting in the given OD, what I will get? Tell me. M into m minus 1 x to the power m. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Plus bx to the power m equal to 0. So x to the power m taking common, I will get m into m minus 1 plus am plus b equal to 0. As x to the power m is your solution, x to the power m is not equal to 0. So m into m minus 1 plus am plus b equal to 0, or m square plus a minus 1 into m plus b equal to 0. That is the characteristic equation. The characteristic equation. मैं क्लास में हूँ. Solving the characteristic equation. You will get two values of m, such as m1 and m2, depending upon the nature of roots, the solutions are to be first real and distinct. जैसे वहां पर मिला था, यहाँ पर भी ऐसे distinct. Means m1 is not equal to m2. The solution will be c1 x to the power m1 plus c2 x to the power m2. c1 x to the power m1 plus c2 x to the power m2. सेकेंड केस क्या है? रियल एंड इक्वल. दैट मीन्स m1 इक्वल टू m2. सोल्यूशन होगा c1 प्लस c2 ln x. वहां पर सिर्फ x आ रहा था, यहाँ पर ln x आएगा. कॉम्प्लेक्स conjugate roots, and m1 is of the form alpha plus I beta, m2 is alpha minus I beta. So solution will be y equal to x to the power alpha whole into c1 cos beta ln x plus C2 sin beta ln x. Y equal to x to the power alpha C1 cos beta ln x plus C2 sin beta ln x. पढ़ लो थियरी को पहले।
The next page.
Exercise 2.2, 2.3. Exercise 2.2, 2.3 you have to solve today. Tomorrow you have class for Tuesday. Tuesday schedule.
सर एक बार पीछे कर देंगे, एक बार सर पिछले वाले स्लाइड में लेके जाएंगे एक बार। ओके सर, थैंक यू। हो गया सर, वापस ले जाइए सेकंड स्लाइड।
हो गया?
यस सर।
यस सर।
यस सर।
तो 1 मिनट रुकिए।
मैंने तो ये कर दिया, वो तो इरेज हो चुका है, इरेज हो चुका है ना है। ओके, रेस्पॉन्ड योर रोल नंबर 426,
प्रेजेंट सर।
427, 428,
प्रेजेंट सर।
429,
प्रेजेंट सर।
30, 31,
सर 30 चार्ट में लिखा है प्रेजेंट।
31,
प्रेजेंट सर।
32,
प्रेजेंट सर।
33,
प्रेजेंट सर।
34,
प्रेजेंट सर।
35, 36,
प्रेजेंट सर।
37,
प्रेजेंट सर।
38,
प्रेजेंट सर।
39, 40,
प्रेजेंट सर।
41,
प्रेजेंट सर 41।
42,
यस सर।
43,
प्रेजेंट सर।
44,
प्रेजेंट सर।
45,
प्रेजेंट सर।
46,
प्रेजेंट सर।
47,
प्रेजेंट सर।
48, 49,
प्रेजेंट सर।
50,
प्रेजेंट सर।
51,
प्रेजेंट सर।
52,
प्रेजेंट सर।
53,
प्रेजेंट सर।
54,
प्रेजेंट सर।
55,
प्रेजेंट सर।
56,
प्रेजेंट सर।
57,
प्रेजेंट सर।
58,
प्रेजेंट सर।
59,
प्रेजेंट सर।
60, 460,
प्रेजेंट सर।
61,
प्रेजेंट सर।
62,
प्रेजेंट सर।
63,
प्रेजेंट सर।
64,
प्रेजेंट सर।
65, 465, 466,
सर 465 प्रेजेंट।
सर 466 प्रेजेंट।
7, 67,
प्रेजेंट सर।
सर 65
प्रेजेंट।
68,
प्रेजेंट सर।
69,
प्रेजेंट सर।
70,
प्रेजेंट सर।
71,
प्रेजेंट सर।
72,
प्रेजेंट सर।
73, 74,
प्रेजेंट
75,
प्रेजेंट सर।
76, 77,
प्रेजेंट सर।
78,
प्रेजेंट सर।
79,
प्रेजेंट सर।
80, 81,
प्रेजेंट सर।
82,
सर। प्रेजेंट।
83,
प्रेजेंट सर।
84,
प्रेजेंट
85,
प्रेजेंट सर।
86, 87,
प्रेजेंट सर।
86 प्रेजेंट है।
88,
वो भी प्रेजेंट है सर, उसने भी लिखा।
89,
प्रेजेंट सर।
90,
प्रेजेंट सर।
91,
प्रेजेंट सर।
92, 93, 94,
Present, sir.
95,
Present, sir.
96, 97,
Present, sir.
98, 99,
Present, sir.
500,
Present, sir.
501, 502,
Present, sir.
503,
Present, sir.
4,
Present, sir.
505,
Present, sir.
506, 507,
Present, sir.
508, 509,
Present, sir.
510,
Present, sir.
501. Are you present? 501, okay,
Sir?
आज के लिए हाँ
Sir, did you mark my attendance? Remember 460?
488,
460, sir.
450
60, sir. 60.
हाँ present,
Sir, have you marked 488?
483 present,
Sir, 488.
488 present,
Sir, 86.
503 present, present,
Sir, 440.
present.
Sir, 465.
जो रेस्पॉन्ड किए हैं वो सब प्रेजेंट है, जो रेस्पॉन्ड नहीं किए हैं उनका एब्सेंट है, तो एग्जिट नाउ.
So today we'll be starting about a new topic that's about biological molecules and metabolism. So for biological molecules, we have removed a lot of portion from the syllabus because of lack of time. So I'm just going to discuss it casually. I'm not going to share anything. I'll just discuss casually with you all. After that, we have a very short topic called metabolism. That was usually bigger, but we have cut down the syllabus again. Okay, so we will be discussing about biomolecules now. It's a kind of a casual discussion because you have already studied the same basics in the chemistry. So we are just having a brushing of the same. So today we'll study about biomolecules and metabolism. Okay. So I can get random answers. I'm not going to ask anyone specifically. Anyone can answer. Okay. So beginning with the atom. So what is an atom? Atom क्या होता है?
Smallest and basic unit of matter. Sir, smallest unit of life.
Okay. Okay, fine. So what is an atom composed of?
Proton, electron, and neutron.
Protons, electrons, and neutrons.
Electron,
Very good.
proton.
So tell me the charges of these three.
Proton +1, electron -1, and
Proton.
neutron is neutral.
Okay. So we have a positive charge on a proton and a negative charge on an electron and neutral from your neutron. Fine. So are all of these in the atom together or they are at different locations?
So different location.
Different location.
Can you all tell me where they are located?
Protons and neutrons are in the
electrons are
nucleus.
placed at
Electrons inside
nucleus, and
nucleus,
electrons revolve
electrons
around the nucleus
around
in
the
different
orbit.
orbits.
Okay, so protons and neutrons are together. They are in the nucleus, and above the nucleus we have certain energy paths called as orbits, and in the energy orbits, matching the energy of the orbit, we have electrons rotating in them. All right. So though we have something called as a negative charge on the electron, and though we have positive charge on the proton, they never interact with each other. Okay, they never interact with each other. Why? Because we have a lot of hindrances in between, which make the charges stay apart. Right. So this way the atoms are established, but still there is a concept called as stability. Okay. So where you see the outermost orbit has to be filled. So we see that sort of a configuration available within noble gases, and hence most of the atoms tend to attain the noble gas configuration. To attain that, they undergo something called as bonding, chemical bonding. So we have different types of chemical bonds. Let's begin with the strongest interactions. Number one, covalent. What happens in a covalent interaction?
Sharing of electrons between two atoms.
Sharing of electrons between the two atoms. So both the atoms contribute to the electrons, and these eventually leads to filling of the so-called octet role, and hence their instability. This kind of interaction is called covalent interaction. Examples:
C to C bond.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide, water, O2,
Methane.
methane. Okay, all of these are basically covalent in nature. Good. Then we have another kind of an interaction known as ionic interaction. Okay, so ionic interaction happens between the ions. So first of all, let's discuss about the ions. We have two kinds of ions. One is cation and the other one is anion. What is a cation?
Positive charge.
Positively charged.
Positively charged ion.
Positively charged ion. How does the cation attain the positive charge?
By transferring its electron.
Giving its electron.
Losing its
by
electron.
donating one of its, by donating the electrons. So depending upon the number of electrons it has donated, the charge also varies, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
why do we think that the cation was getting a positive charge? Positive charge क्यों आ रहा है वहाँ पे?
Deficiency of electrons के कारण.
Its electron to attain noble gas configuration.
Electron चला गया है, fine. Electron चले जाने के बाद, now we are left with more number of protons, and the excess protons that are available will be now contributing to the positive charge. Same way, we have anion. So anion क्या करता है? It actually gains the electron, right? So while it gains the electron, it is attaining a negative charge. Now tell me why it is actually having a negative charge.
Number of electrons are more than the protons, so negative charge exceeds the positive charge.
The negative charge exceeds the positive charge, and hence there is a negative charge on the atom. Right? Examples of ions, especially cation का example बता दीजिए.
Sodium.
Na plus.
Yes, Na plus, Mg2 plus, Ca2 plus, K plus.
Aluminum
All of
3
these
plus.
are H plus, Al3 plus. Fine. What about anions?
Cl minus,
Iodine,
I
chlorine.
minus.
Chloride,
Fluorine, iodine,
iodide.
O2 minus, S minus 2. All of these are so-called negatively charged. I mean anions. They can form anions. Fine. So now these opposite charges, when they interact, the kind of the bonding is called as ionic bond. Example of molecules that are formed through ionic bonds.
NaCl.
HCl.
NaCl, very good.
NaI.
HCl, NaI, NaF, CaCl2, MgCl2. all of these basically undergo bonding through your so-called ionic interactions. Good. Now we have completed the strongest interactions in nature. Let's move ahead with the weakest forces. Okay. So the most common weakest force that we see in the nature is Van der Waals forces of attraction, which is dependent upon the polarity of the molecule. So एक molecule now atoms हम पार कर चुके हैं. Now we are actually talking about the molecules. Okay, molecules also undergo interaction. So while they undergo interaction, you see that the interaction can happen because of partial charges. Okay, so some of the molecules tends to have unequal distribution of electrons in the entire molecule, creating a partial positive charge on one side and a partial negative charge on the other side. We call such kind of molecules as polar molecules. And these polar molecules, through their dipole interactions, will be forming something called as van der Waals forces of attractions or polar bonds. All right. So such kind of interactions exist between the majority of the molecules. So one common example that we have already studied earlier. van der Waals forces of attraction का example बता दीजिए. Give me the examples of van der Waals forces of attractions.
The intermolecular forces.
Hydrogen bonding.
Van der Waals forces.
Hydrogen bonding.
Hydrogen bonding is a type of van der Waals process, right? Exactly. Hydrogen bonding is one of the types of
dipole.
Dipole interactions or van der Waals, right?
Iron
So,
dipole.
So what we can see in the hydrogen, how hydrogen bonding is different with respect to van der Waals is that here the bonding is happening only between specific atoms. Like on one side, mandatorily we have hydrogen. On the other side, mandatorily we have an electronegative atom. Okay, so these two again will tend to interact. Okay, and such kind of a bonding is called as hydrogen bonding. Okay, on the other hand, polar bonds may or may not have exactly electropositive or exactly electronegative atom, like exactly hydrogen or the electronegative atom on the other side. Okay, so this way we have a deviation from a common polar bond. Okay, so we have seen that we have polar bonding, and then we have seen that we have hydrogen bonding. Apart from that, we have another kind of a bonding called as dative bond or coordinate covalent bond. So how does this coordinate covalent bond form?
When only one atom shares an electron.
Only one atom will be sharing its lone electrons. Okay, we have a lone pair
Its
of
lone
electrons.
pair.
Its lone pair is being contributed by just one atom. You don't have an equal sharing coming from the other partner. So such kind of an interaction is called as dative bond or coordinate covalent bond. As we are sharing the electron, we are also saying the term covalent. Okay, but it is coordinate covalent, not exactly covalent. Fine. Then we have these many types of interactions that are common in the biological molecules. Okay. Now, looking at the types of the molecules that are formed in nature, we have different atoms forming different chemicals in the body. Out of all this, the contribution majorly comes from your hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, and phosphorus. They constitute like more than 96% of the entire so-called chemical composition of the body. Other than that, we have other ions like magnesium, calcium, like trace elements like iron, zinc, and all playing another role. Okay, so this way our body composition is made up of different types of elements. Okay, and the majority of them are occupied by your carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus. Okay, these are the major occupants. Now, studying about this, looking about this, water is one of the primary molecule of any living creature because majority of the content of the body itself is made up of water. The cell itself is made up of water. Okay, water का बहुत role है. एक तो composition में role है, and apart from that, it takes parts in constituting, acting as a solvent. Okay, and it takes parts in transportation of many other circulatory related tissue, like your connective tissue, blood is made up of water, majorly made up of water. Okay, so your blood is acting as a transportation media for a lot of hormones, lot of chemicals, lot of waste matter as well, a lot of minerals, lot of food particles. बहुत सारी चीज को water delivery करता है. Okay, apart from that, water also can be acting as a media. Okay, so media matlab if you want to store certain things, water can actually take that job. Okay, and on top of that, we have a metabolism inside our body, which is actually known as the chemical processes of the entire cell. So in the entire chemical processes, you have some other part, some other region where you use the water as a metabolite. Okay, like we have hydrolysis reactions and all. So there you tend to see the utilization of water, and that is like contributing to the one or the other metabolic pathways. So this way, water has a major role inside the body. Now coming to the carbon. Carbon also has a lot of importance in biological systems. Why? Because if you are going to look at the structural components, majority of the structural components are made up of your carbon. Okay, majority of your structural components are made up of carbon. How? We have organic compounds. So organic compounds we have carbohydrates, we have lipids, we have proteins. So proteins can form a lot of structures. Carbohydrates also can form structures. Phospholipids, they are the one which are actually forming the membranes of all the creatures. So in all the creatures, you see phospholipids. They are again the carbon-based phospholipids. So everywhere you see the availability of carbon. Okay, and not just that, you see that the respiration process also has carbon dioxide as one of the key component. Okay, in case of plants, carbon dioxide is utilized for making of sugars. Okay, so apart from that, we also see that carbon dioxide in the nature plays a main role in condensation and evaporation process. So your so-called water cycle is mainly regulated by your carbon balance. Okay, so apart from that, carbon also do contribute to some of the toxic effects. Like you have seen that the greenhouse gases and most of the pollution that's happening because of plastic and all is again contributed by your carbon sources. Okay, so this is something about the importance of carbon. So we have to regulate them. However, majority of our body is made up of carbon, and even your DNA also has carbon in the backbone. All right. So depending upon the so-called availability of the carbon, we have two different kinds of molecules. One are organic and the other one are inorganic in nature. Organic means definitely you have a carbon and hydrogen backbone. Remember, mandatory content in the organic compound is that you should be having a carbon and hydrogen backbone. So such kind of a molecule, it can be straight, it can be cyclic. Okay, it can be straight or it can be cyclic. Still, you can call it as organic compound. In an inorganic compound, we don't have any like backbone of carbon and hydrogen. Okay, you don't have any backbone of carbon and hydrogen. Like you see CO2, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide don't have a backbone of carbon and hydrogen. It is just interaction of carbon, which is two of the oxygen atoms. All right. Same way carbon monoxide. Same way you have sulfuric acid. Same way you have NaCl. Everywhere you don't see any carbon and hydrogen backbone. So we have two kinds of molecules, organic compounds, then we have inorganic compounds. Organic compounds majorly contribute to the body structures and some of the functions, especially majority of our potential form of energy is stored in your so-called organic compounds. And coming to the inorganic compounds, they are basically required for rest of the other processes. Okay, like majority of the salts, majority of the acids of the body, like your hydrochloric acid, H2SO4, phosphoric acid, all of these are inorganic in nature. Okay, then we have the salts playing a major role in regulating the ions. Okay, and ions also do contribute to some of the functions in the body, like your nervous system is completely nervous and muscular system. Both of them are dependent upon the ions for functioning. Okay, and not just there, when we are actually synthesizing the energy molecule ATP, also you require ions. What are the ions that are required? Hydrogen ions, H+. You can simply call it as proton. Okay, so we have the need of inorganic molecules also for majority of the regulatory processes in the body. So we are going to study about the metabolic aspects now. So let me just open the slides and share it with you all. We'll try to complete it probably in like 10 minutes, next 10 minutes. Okay, it usually takes 1 hour to deal with this entire metabolism, but because of time constraint, we have cut down all the pathways of metabolism. Jitna bhi pathways hai, sab pathways ko humne hata diya. Okay, so you don't have most of the hurdles from metabolism now, and biomolecules maybe hum structures ko nahi padha rahe. We are not going to deal with any of the structures like carbohydrate structure, protein structure, lipid structure. We are not going to deal with any of them. We just are briefing what is a carbohydrate, what is a lipid, what is a protein, uska role kya hota hai bas. Okay, we are not going to deal with any of the pathways related to them. So don't worry about the syllabus that is being provided in the textbooks. We'll tell you what has to be eliminated later. Okay, so let me share my presentation as of now. Yeah, metabolism and homeostasis. Homeostasis so already हम पढ़ चुके हैं. Now talking about the metabolism. So what is metabolism basically? Are my slides visible?
Yes, sir.
Are
Yes,
the
sir.
slides clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are going to talk about the metabolism. So what is metabolism? It tells about the entire chemical processes of the cell. Okay, it refers to the entire chemical process, or in simple language, you can say the entire sum of the chemical reactions in a cell. Okay, the sum of the chemical reactions in a cell simply can be termed metabolism, or it refers to the entire chemical processes of a creature or an organism. Okay, so inside our organism, we have different types of chemicals through which the organism functionality is established, of which majority of the functionality comes from your organic compounds. Okay, and if you're going to look at the energy, we require energy to work, right? We require energy to do work. So where do we get the energy from? We get it from the potential sources. So what are the basic potential sources that we have? We have ATP, we have carbohydrates, we have proteins, we have fats. Okay, so all the four basic organic compounds like carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, all the four contribute to the energy. They have good amount of potential format of energy. Okay, now depending upon the way we make it, or depending upon the way we utilize them, we have two different kinds of creatures in nature. One are autotrophic, which means they can make their own sources of energy, especially the carbohydrates. Who can do that? Plants can do that. Okay, so plants can do that. How do they do that? By a process called photosynthesis, and hence we call them as autotrophic creatures. Autotrophic. Okay, auto, self, trophic, energy making. So these are the plants are autotrophic in nature. Then we have another category of creatures, which may not be able to create their own energy sources, especially the carbohydrate sources. So we call them as heterotrophs. Why we are calling them as heterotrophs? Because they somehow has to depend upon the other creatures to derive the potential form of energy. Okay, and hence we call them as heterotrophs. So we are heterotrophs, rats are heterotrophs, rabbits are heterotrophs, all the animals are heterotrophic in nature. Okay, so what about the metabolism? Metabolism can happen aerobically, it also can happen anaerobically. Okay, like in case of us, it's happening aerobically. Okay, and some parts of us like muscles and all also tends to show some anaerobic activity. Okay, and there are many creatures which are deep within the sea, which are deep within the layers of the earth. They are surviving still in the earth. So how do they do that? They don't have any oxygen or they don't have any air there. So they perform the activity through chemo process. Okay, they depend upon the other chemicals in the surroundings and they try to derive the energy from them. So they are chemoautotrophic creatures. Okay, now when the metabolism happens, usually we see that the energy flow happens through different molecules to attain a specific task or to attain a specific function. Okay, so this way the metabolism can happen in a series of reactions, and we call that entire series as a metabolic pathway. Okay, but to perform a specific function, we will be having many parallel metabolic pathways running. Matlab, you don't have a single molecule doing a single job, rather you have many other molecules parallelly doing different other jobs, and all of them are running in different series. So we have many metabolic pathways running parallelly to attain a specific function at a specific point of time. Okay, so this way we have several metabolic pathways in nature in an organism, and some of them tends to get activated at some point of time. They run parallelly. Okay, and some of them stays deactivated. Now, if you're going to look at the way the metabolism is developed, it basically adapts to the internal environment and it also adapts to the external environment. Okay, example, we have seen one of the processes of metabolism, homeostasis, where we see that the liver was degrading the high glucose levels and low glucose level. जब ज़्यादा glucose levels होगा तो क्या होगा? When we have high glucose, what happens? How does the body respond to high glucose?
Hyperglycemia.
Hyperglycemia. So we have our pancreas releasing insulin. Okay, so the insulin goes and converts the glucose to a stored component called as glycogen. Okay, and that's done in the liver. Same way, you have another type of a process called as glycogenolysis, where we see that the glycogen is being broken down and we are actually getting glucose molecules. So that we do when we have less sugar level. So depending upon the internal environment, we have our metabolism getting adapted to that and it established. Okay, so same way, depending upon the external environment also, the metabolism can change, can adapt. Okay, so if you're going to look at the potential form of energy, we are heterotrophs, we derive it from exterior, right? So when we derive the potential form of energy from exterior, then this has to be processed, and at some other point of time, this has to be given as an energy source. So how do we do that? That is done by the liver. So the liver does the job of converting all these potential sources into the available sources, usable form of energy. Okay, so for that reason, we call the liver as the seat of metabolism. Okay, in our body, whenever you take a drug, whenever you take any medicine, or whenever you take food, everything gets metabolized there. So it is converted into a usable format at the liver, and through this format, now it is going to distribute to the blood, and from blood it is going to reach the targets. And for that reason, we see that liver is the seat of metabolism. Okay, so in metabolism we have two subcategories. One is anabolism and the other one is catabolism. What is anabolism? Anabolism is a constructive process or a synthesis process. So what do we do here? From small pieces, from many small pieces, we are going to build a larger component. Example, glucose monosaccharide है. जब ज़्यादा बॉडी में ज़्यादा ग्लूकोज है तो लिवर ग्लाइकोजन बनाता है. So glycogen is made up of thousands of glucoses. So how do we make glycogen? So we join thousands of glucoses. We utilize some of the energy to join them, and through this we are actually synthesizing a molecule of glycogen. So such kind of a process is called as anabolism. Anabolism is constructive in nature. We synthesize bigger molecules from smaller molecules, okay, or smaller compound. Then coming to catabolism, catabolism is reverse of anabolism. You have a bigger compound. From the bigger compound, we break the bigger compound, liberating some energy, and the smaller molecules. So bada compound से smaller molecules मिल रहा है यहाँ पे. Such kind of a process is called as catabolism. So we have anabolism, and on contrary to that, catabolism. So metabolism has two segments. Now energy flow. As I said earlier, we have autotrophs and heterotrophs in nature. So basically, sun is the ultimate source of energy for autotrophs, from where the plants derive the photons. From photons, they convert this photic energy to chemical form of energy, where you tend to see the production of carbohydrates. The primary source of carbohydrate, one of the most important carbohydrate is glucose. So we tend to get glucose from the plants, right? So we store the potential form of energy in the glucose. Now this glucose has to be distributed to other organs also, other organisms also. How do they do that? So we have herbivores. These are another form of heterotrophs, so which completely depend upon the vegetative matter only, or plant-based matter only. So they eat plant-based matter. From there, whatever the potential storage is available in the plant, that is being now taken up by the animal. Okay, that's one way of consumption. Then we have another consumption coming in the form of carnivores. What do? They don't feed on the plant matter, rather they feed on the animal matter. So whatever the potential form of energy was there in the animal is being taken up by the another animal. So that's carnivorous. Now we have we stay in between. Human beings stay in between. Like we can feed on both animal matter, and we can feed on both plant matter, plant and animal both. So we are basically veg and non-veg both. So omnivorous in nature. Okay, omni matlab both. So this way the energy flow happens, and once we are dead, we get catabolized. We get catabolized, releasing a lot of energy, releasing a lot of minerals into the soil, and this kind of energy and minerals are again utilized by the plant, and the plant grows. Okay, so this way you have a circle of life continuing. Circle of life. The term I think you've seen the sentence in Simba, Mufasa. What is that movie name? Lion King. Lion King. So you have a discussion, the father and son discussing, like regarding the deers and all, like while we feed them, feeding the deers and all. So the father says to the son, saying that we feed on the deer. Ultimately, at some point of time, we die. After we die, we are in the soil. The soil gets all the contents from us, and the plant feeds on that content. The plant grows, and the deer again goes to the plant. and it feeds on the plant. So this way, indirectly, the D is also eating us. Okay, that's like the circle of life. Okay, so it basically talks about the potential energy transportation from one particular creature to other creature. Now, so in the metabolism, the most key component in the living systems is ATP. Nucleotide, it's a nucleotide. So we have adenine, in which we have a combination with ribose. So adenosine form ho raha hai, and this adenosine is now interacting with 3-phosphates. Again, you have another potential storage available in the phosphate. This is inorganic in nature, but this is forming the bonding with the adenosine triphosphate, making the entire molecule to be organic. Okay, so this way your ATP is organic in nature, and we have 3 phosphates. So all the 3 phosphates will be having a tremendous amount of potential energy stored in them. So in the course of evolution, the phosphates has played a key role in establishing several metabolic processes and several metabolic pathways. Okay, and this way ATP tends to stand as the most crucial molecule in the metabolic processes in nature. Okay, it stands everywhere. Utilization के लिए भी ATP चाहिए और generation के लिए भी ATP चाहिए. Okay, so where do we get the ATP from? We basically get it from the potential stores. So what are they? Proteins, carbohydrates, lipids. So what do we do to them? We catabolize them. Where does the catabolism happens? In the cytoplasm. Can you all tell me what is catabolism? Catabolism क्या है? Destructive है या constructive है?
Destructive.
It's destructive. So we have to break them down. So we have to break the protein, we have to break the fat, we have to break the sugar. So while we are breaking them and while we are processing them, we are actually getting a common intermediate called as acetyl-CoA or acetyl coenzyme A. So this is the common intermediate molecule for catabolism of your potential stores like fats, carbohydrates, proteins. So when we break them down, we get a common intermediate called as acetyl coenzyme A. Till this process, cytoplasm, till this process happens in the cytoplasm. After this, acetyl coenzyme A now moves to the mitochondria. In the mitochondria, acetyl coenzyme A contributes to several conversions where we get a lot of byproducts. You are actually seeing these coenzymes, right? These are the byproducts. These byproducts will now tend to act at the membrane of the mitochondria, where you tend to see the production of ATP by a process called as electron transport chain. Okay, again I repeat, till this process, the catabolism process happens in the cytoplasm. We get acetyl coenzyme A as the common interacting partner or the common intermediate. So from this common intermediate of the catabolism will be now moving into the mitochondria, where it takes part in a process called as Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle or TCA, tricarboxylic acid cycle, leading to generation of lot of factors, which eventually will be contributing to the flow of electrons in the membrane. We call it as electron transport chain, and this electron transport chain eventually leads to generation of adenosine triphosphates, ATPs. So where is this happening? This is happening in the mitochondria. And आपका जितना भी energy source है, उसका ultimate energy हमको कहाँ से मिल रहा है? We are actually getting it to the mitochondria. For this reason, we are naming the mitochondria as a powerhouse. Okay, so ये जब catabolic process होता है, यहाँ भी हमको थोड़ा बहुत energy release होता है, but compared to the energy released from the mitochondria, this is lesser, and hence we are terming the mitochondria as the powerhouse, not the other components. Okay, जितना भी metabolic processes होता है, उसमें energy generation जब हो रहा है, उसमें सबसे ज्यादा energy generation ये steps के वजह से होता है, because of these TCA and electron transport chain. And where is it happening? It's happening in the mitochondria. For that reason, we are calling mitochondria as powerhouses. Okay, and that's how we derive the ATP molecules. So once the ATP molecules are generated, we either use them for catabolism or we either use them for metabolism. Okay, so this way ATP is standing as one of the most common molecule of metabolism. Okay, so if you get a question, let me ask you 2 questions. What is the most common intermediate of entire metabolism? The answer should be ATP. Entire metabolism के लिए सिर्फ ATP होगा. Now, what is the most common intermediate for catabolism of energy sources? catabolism again, energy sources again. In that case, the answer should be acetyl coenzyme A. So the intermediate for your catabolism, especially the energy sources, is acetyl coenzyme A. The intermediate for the entire metabolism is ATP, or the common molecule of the entire metabolism. It's ATP. So don't get confused between the catabolism and the metabolism. Metabolism has both the components, anabolic component, catabolic component. In all the components, we are having ATP as common molecule. In catabolism, also we are getting ATP at the end. But if somebody asks you about the intermediate, common intermediate, then in that case, acetyl coenzyme A should be the answer for catabolism. Okay, remember that. Don't get confused. This kind of questions may appear in the examination. Okay, so we are done with the metabolism. Homeostasis already ho chuka hai, so I don't want to repeat it again. So with this, we have completed majority of the portion of your mid-semester syllabus. We are left with yeah, Sambuddha.
Sir, can you repeat that intermediate for the entire catabolism, that acetyl?
Catabolism में हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम molecules को break down कर रहे हैं. So जब हम molecules को break down कर रहे हैं, especially the energy sources को हम जब break down कर रहे हैं, all of them are giving a common intermediate product. What is its name? Acetyl coenzyme A. This further goes. It doesn't stop there. It further goes, and it will be giving you ATP. Okay. So catabolism का end product क्या है? ATP है. Catabolism का intermediate product क्या है? Acetyl coenzyme A है. Okay. So that's that's thing. But metabolism में अगर पूछेंगे, if somebody is asking you about the entire metabolism, in that case, the common molecule that you tend to come across in the metabolism is ATP. Okay, because we are utilizing ATP for construction and we are utilizing ATP for destruction also. Okay. So that way, for entire metabolism, it's ATP. For catabolism, the end product is ATP. The intermediate product is acetyl coenzyme A. So remember the term intermediate, common intermediate. In catabolism, it's ATP. Common end product. Common intermediate is acetyl coenzyme A. Common end product is ATP. Okay, so intermediate acetyl coenzyme A है catabolism का. So this is already shared. The slides are already shared. Okay, so in case if anyone has any doubts, let me know. So we are left with one important topic, one big topic, that's protein synthesis. So probably in coming 2 classes, we may be completing them also. Maybe next week, most probably. किसी को कोई doubt है? If there are any doubts, let me know. Okay. If there are no doubts, thank you all. You can all disperse.
सर आपने पीपीटी सर शेयर नहीं किया था सर, स्टेम सेल वाला.
Is it?
सर आपने सिर्फ होम्योस्टैट.
ना, मैंने शेयर नहीं किया है. I'll share it now itself.
Okay.
सर.
Yes.
वो जो आपने एक डायग्राम दिखाया था ना, कार्बोहाइड्रेट से मोनोसैकेराइड पूरा जो टीसीए साइकिल में क्या क्या प्रोड्यूस होता है, वो क्या एग्जाम में आएगा क्या पूरा, मतलब जितना सब प्रोडक्ट बाय प्रोडक्ट?
साइकिल्स नहीं है. None of the cycles will come.
ठीक है सर.
I said no, already we have eliminated all the cycles. तभी तो मैं briefly बताया था आपको. Otherwise एक cycle को explain करना पड़ेगा. Earlier we used to have time, we used to explain all of them, but now we don't have time, so we are not going with any of the cycles. Protein cycle, lipid cycle, sugar cycle, none. We are not dealing with anything. Okay, so don't worry about cycles and structures and all. Carbohydrate structure, protein structure, we are not going to ask you. So don't worry about them.
सर हमें स्ट्रक्चर ड्रॉ करने थे, वो आप कब बताएंगे ड्रॉ करना?
ड्राइंग के बारे में कौन सा कंपोनेंट को ड्रॉ करना है एंड ऑल?
हाँ, वो आपने बोला था ना एग्जाम में आएगा बनाने के लिए.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll try to post it on the classroom. So from classroom you can see what are the important diagrams to practice. फिलहाल आप एनिमल सेल, प्लांट सेल और प्रोकैरियोट का प्रैक्टिस कीजिए. Okay. So I have shared the stem cell presentation also. So at the last I have also provided with some questions, possible questions that can come for your midterm examination. So you can go through the presentation. In case if there are any doubts, we can catch on WhatsApp. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank